guys, and how's it going? Hey, about a month ago we picked up this Polaris 800 Ranger that I bought, sight unseen and unknown condition, and non-running and everything. Winched it on a trailer, drove it 300 miles home, and we got into it. I think we did the frame in the back of the bed was busted, electrical system, battery, a bunch of other kind of stuff was done on it. Anyway, I was doing my homework on it, and I found that the engines are a ticking time bomb. So I'm hoping that we can address that now. I guess there's a fix for it, and we're going to go try it. And hopefully we get that taken care of before ours blows. All right, so without further ado, let's get some wrenching done and get this thing fixed up, and a couple other things we need to address too. So I grabbed a couple of maintenance items for it, but the one thing that really needs to be the fix, it needs balls. It has no balls. I guess what happens is there is a pin for the oil pressure regulator that after time seizes in the bore and either creates full pressure and it blows the oil filter off and it runs out of oil, or blocks and it makes no oil pressure and the motor blows. So that's what we're going to go try to attack. Supposedly it's over by the oil filter area, so let's go get it up in the air, get the seat out of the way, and start zooming in on that location. I'll definitely say it's a little cozy down here, but I think what we're going for is going to be that plug right there. But getting to it's a little tricky. There is a skid plate, like a plastic skid plate with those holes in it. We can try to get that down out of the way. Maybe we can try to attack it from this angle a little bit better. Plus be able to see it. Come in. That's got a little bit of dirt. We're in. Well, we got access to that, but we find other problems while we're along. It had a bit of a rattle when you're riding it. And that is the dry shaft going to the front axle. Got a little bit of play in it. Just a little. Wait, it gets better. So on the front side of things, that's what's driving the front axle. So I heard a little bit of dinging when it was driving. I'm willing to bet that's it. So we can add that to a list of things that need to be fixed. Well, let's get back to the original problem of making sure that the engine doesn't blow up again, which is going to be that plug right there. I'm going to take a little bit of time and try to clean some of the dirt up on and around this thing, just so that when we're opening that up, we're not introducing a bunch of caca. So I'm gonna go hit it with a big old air gun. If it was summertime, I'd hit it with a steam cleaner, but it's not. Watch your eyeballs. I ended up taking a bungee cord. There's a coolant line down here, kind of went in front of it. I have a bungee cord on the bottom, kind of holding it out of our way. Alright, what size do you think that is? Guessing like 14 or 15. Let's go 15. But I brought both wrenches over. Yeah, alright. There we go. Should have a spring behind it, and then a pin further in. I don't know if I can get some magnet, or would have thought that would have popped out a little bit, wouldn't you? Go try to get a little magnet in there, and room to make the bend. Can fish for something. I've got the spring. I'll lose that because that we got to use. I almost dropped it. Alright, now the pin should be about 3/4 of an inch down in there. Is that gonna fit? Let's see what we got. Nothing. I wonder if it's even magnetic. Now what do we do? How about we try cranking it maybe? We'll use oil pressure to pull up on it. I wonder if I can get a, where's the starter in this thing? Oh, we can get a starter button on it. Because apparently it gets galled up and it binds in there, so that may be just the case of what's going on with this one too. Hence the reason why we're here. Also wonder if we could take maybe the oil filter off and we can push air in it. Let's go. I'm going to go do a look exploration, see if I can find some way to bump the starter. I don't see a good way to be able to crank it with us kind of like looking at it and put a hand over it. How about we take the glove, put it over, and we do something like that. Bring it all the way around. And we'll fire it for a second, and it should shoot oil out. It's supposed to be under pressure. And we'll catch it in the glove. Make your own jokes. You ever get the feeling that you might be standing in just like a very poor location if it goes puh? Let's go kick you to the side a little bit. Going up on the ladder. What we get? Can't really see from where I was. Guess we can. Washer came off. What a pin. I feel like a washer. I don't put any oil in it though. Maybe this one was stuck. Let's try a little more. Ain't nobody. Just there's a compression washer on the end of it. Alright, we'll do it again. Have to or rev it. Anything? Yeah, she looks a little chubby. I think we got it. You got something. That's right in there. All right, let's go get that out of there. Let's cut it. Let's go over to the bench. We changed that oil too. Yeah, they are. Kinda. There's one. There's a washer. Where's our pin? It's like we're baking. Here's our pin. And she looks a little scald. And that one definitely so I guess what the deal is, the pin is so hard and the case is aluminum, and eventually I don't know if the aluminum starts transferring to the steel or whatever, kind of like when you spin a bearing, is my guess. Yeah, it definitely has a bunch of, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. It definitely has a bunch of beat upness on it. So, the fix, you say, what is the fix? I'll show you what the fix is. Let me go clean this mess up. So the fix is to take .5/16 balls. Yeah. A squirrel would be proud. And apparently they're supposed to be like the same diameter. Why does that not look like the same? But they're supposed to be the same. And you put 2 of them lengthwise, and it takes up the gap of the space that normal pin would be, and you replace it just like that. And apparently they don't have the capacity of binding up that the pin does, or the dowel, or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna go, I'm quite sure that's might be just optical illusion. I'm gonna go measure across that pin and make sure they're the same height as that. Well, I say if anything, it's about 1 or 2 thou. About 2 thousandths difference, smaller, which is good. Again, so because all the port, get a pointer, you know, when it's all together, oil's trying to come out around here, and then once the pressure gets so high, it pushes the spring back and allows so much oil pressure. We just make up a number, say like 40 psi. At 40 psi, this ball moves out of the way, and oil is allowed to leak by it. Anything below that, it seals it off and lets the pressure gain high. Apparently, like I said, either this sometimes got stuck all the way open and it had no oil pressure and the motor would blow up, or it got jammed down in there and it couldn't relieve at all, and the pressure would go through the roof, and I guess it would blow the oil filter right off it and cause a problem going the other direction, because now you have no oil in the motor and you're stuck in the woods. But you know, how long does it take you to notice it? So we're gonna go throw that back in there, and we got some other stuff to work on. I'm gonna change oil and stuff too. I got the correct oil for it. It was like a 550. That's where I drop them. Good thing I got extra, right? 1. Almost. 2. It's nice when somebody else does the homework for you. And it's contacted in the spring right about there. I can feel it. So it puts a little bit of a preload on it. And wherever our wrench went, uh-oh. I forgot to put the washer. I lost the washer. There. I heard you yelling at me. Fine. It's better on a gauge I could put on it, and we could have looked at it before and after for pressure, but we're gonna wing it. Call that for the win. All right, we got emergency brake doesn't work. We gotta go address that. My wife was took it out for a ride. She enjoyed it, but then she went to go get out of it, and it rolled away on a hill. Let's see if we get the dry shaft. I got to change the oil yet. No big deal. You don't need to see that. But maybe let's go look into that dry shaft. See if we can figure out how to get it out of where it is. It's got a sleeve right there. That looks pretty boogered up too, huh? So either this has to go backwards, or the dry shaft. Oh boy. So there's the front differential. Maybe got to get unbolted and slide forward. Which I would guess probably be these 4 bolts. Digging a hole. Yeah, I know. I don't see other way to get it out, do you? Unless it just falls out. Let me go look up, see if it's available. I don't know if we can get universal joints that are that small, and we can repair what we got. Tell that was maintained well, huh? And the brake rotor is right there. I cleaned some mud out of it. I think the pads are just too wore out for it to clamp down on the disc far enough. Alright, let's go. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to try loosening those bolts up. What if we should take that skid plate off the front? That's the whole front bumper. It's all one piece. So we can see it. This ought to be fun to try to show you. So, that drive shaft, right? Let me get the light up in there. There we go. That's why I got. See that pin? That pin is what's locking it together. We got to drive that pin out of there. I don't know if there's a better way. I see a bunch of hoses and stuff. Maybe from the bottom here. We'll try it first. If not, maybe we'll try accessing it that direction. Let's go see what happens. See if it wants to move easy or not. Gotta remember to get it back together again too. I have no idea what you can see. I have no idea what I can see. You're gonna have to spin it around. It's probably tapered on one side more than the other. It's not going. And sometimes you just gotta modify tools. So that was a punch that was that fat. I went over to the belt sander and on a drill and ran it down to that size, and then hammer time. Got the pin out. Now we gotta try to get the shaft out of there. So it should have room on the rear spline. I don't know how cruddy it is to slide off of this one and work its way back. Maybe that works for us. Oh, wonder if the back spline is so bound up with crud. We could always hit that with a hammer. Yeah, I think it's all probably just crud it up with mud to see if it'll drive. I'm hoping to hear a tink out front that it fell off. Maybe another ½ inch. There it goes. Now we gotta drive it the other direction and try to make room. Yeah, it worked the first time. Let's try it again. Well, you can call me names all you want, but I own a welder, and I ain't afraid to use it. Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Well, I was able to find the universals local, which are nice. I got one side, it's already done. Let's go knock out the other side. And we got to start by removing just like little C-clips that hold the caps on all the way around. Let's get them tapped out. Sometimes they go easy, sometimes not so easy. Sometimes too, if they're really bound up, tap the caps in first to take a little bit of the pressure off. But essentially, gone. One down, 4 to go, 3 to go. Math was not my strong suit. So the trick is you got to push the caps out all 4 directions, but you want to do it without damaging, I want to call them the horns on the yoke. You want to bend these inward or outward. So a lot of times it's you take a larger socket that the cap can fit out and you drive it on the other side with a smaller socket on a hammer, and you beat the bejesus out of it. Or sometimes if you're lucky enough you have a little press, you can press them out, and I think that's probably the way we're going to go. It's only going to go so far. And that should be enough to get the cap out of the other end. Should be. And we'll grab it with a pair of pliers and kind of wiggle it a little bit. And then we could drive the other cap the other direction. Okay, that one's out. Then we're going to take it. We're going to go drive it the other way. And we just need something, a flat bar to push on. Let me go get something a little bit with a flat end to it. Kick. Rust is kind of your enemy too, you know. It's fighting you. So I threw some lube on that cap. You just want to make sure that bottom socket, it doesn't catch, you know, where the cap is hitting on the wall of the socket. Didn't fall all the way down. Oh, it's just the same the other direction. And smoke's coming out of it. You know it's tight. And I'm going to do the same for the yoke to get the other 2 out. So now we'll be able to wiggle this out of here. It should just barely clear the ears. There it goes. And I'll do the same for those 2. It's bending that ear. Yeah, sometimes that's the problem with a hydraulic press. You don't have the feel. You know, if that's going to slip, that's going to hurt. Pew! That should come out. Hair more? Do I gotta go a hair more? It does. How about now? There you go. So they should go together fairly easy, but what helps that? Cleaning your hole. That way the caps can just kind of slide right in. I'm going to drive it past it. The whole time kind of maintaining tension this way so the bearings don't fall out. So that way when I put this cap in, I pretty much catch a lot of it. I'm going to go get one of the clips on now. And then tap it backwards. I gotta turn around, hit it better. I think I have a burr. I have a burr in this location in here that's stopping me. I probably, when I pried on it, I bent the lip down a little bit. I gotta take it back apart. I'm gonna just take a little bit of a Dremel and clean that lip off of there. Yep, there's a burr right there. I can fix it. That's got it. Yeah, so we get the knuckle together. The gas company coming today, get the heat turned on. I was trying for no heat November. I made it most of the way. Alright, so I'm going to run a cap. And tap it in as far as we can. Try to keep it up against the post so the needles don't fall out. Drive a little bit past it. And do the same on this side. I'm gonna get a clip in that side first and then shove it over and get the other clip in it. And other than pumping grease in it, she's pretty good. If it binds on you, like, yeah, a little bit of drag is gonna be there, but if it's like it's too tight and you're gonna run it, it's gonna overheat and fail. So you got to kind of take it apart and get your, like mine where I crushed down too hard on it, had to open it up. You want to make sure that's good. Again, it's gonna overheat. All right, I gotta go clean the splines up too because we had to go drive that pretty far back on the rear end part of it, and then both sides. We just kind of clean it all up before we put it together. The heat's on, can you tell? All right, let's go purge that out a little bit so we can get the wire wheel in there. See if we can find another one. One too many strands hanging in the wind. Should like a little metal toothbrush I can get in there and kind of. Or we just do a bunch of that. Yeah. We'll get it. And the shaft's sticking out. Kind of the same idea. That's, when you hear an irritating sound, the most annoying sound. So I'm gonna go clean all them up and then we'll get some grease on here for future. Because that's supposed to be able to, as the front suspension moves up and down, the joint that's on here actually slides back and forth a little bit. So definitely don't want it looking like that. Is it too soon for some P. Diddy jokes? No? Yeah. Hey, it was on sale. All right. Go get the shaft. Stick it in. Let's see if we get this side to play well. There's an O-ring right about that far in there. Let's see if we can get her to. There it goes. She went in, she won't come out. What'd you do? There we go. Okay. So I got to get the front all set up, and then we got to drive as far back as we can, and I got to get the front lined up with the correct spline so I can get the pin in it. All right, so I drew a line where the pin is on the front, so I can kind of try to index it as close as we can get it. Let's see. We should be able to twist it a little bit, but we got to get at least, you know, somewhat close. Okay, I got to draw the back as far as possible. Then got to draw it forward. I think I got it even on the right spline. Now I just got to get that pin up in there. You know it's not going to stay. I am too far forward, I think. Yeah, I gotta line the hole up a little bit better. I'll probably stick like a. You guys can't see anything, can you? I think I'm close. I just got to get a dowel or something in there to try to line those two up and get the pin back in there. I tapered the pin so we can kind of, you know, have a start for it. It's gonna be a little cozy for us. Let's see if we can get the whole kind of lined up. Then I have a 1/4 inch drive extension with a socket on it. See if we can get it started. Kind of tap that up a little bit. Let's see if we can drive that home. We got to start it. I'm going to go eyeball everything, make sure I'm good front and rear before I commit, or should be committed. Yeah, and home it goes. Done. So you know this is going to end up some forum. They're going to be calling me a hack. Saying that you hacked the rail off to go just to get the drive shaft out, and then they're going to go try to get the drive shaft out, and they're going to screw with it for about an hour, hour and a half. And they're going to do the exact same. I'm talking to you. Yes, you're in the future. You'll be doing the same thing. Thank me now. We'll just get a couple of tacks on it, and then we can get the jack out of the way. The ground. What now? Come on. Whoops. All right, now I can get under it and get a good weld. Like it never happened. Well, after getting totally sidetracked on a wasted front drive shaft, weren't we screwing with oil? And I had changed it. I had the wrong weight in it. It's supposed to have a 550. I got 2 quarts of that. So hopefully this is the drain plug. Let's get that to piss out. And take whatever crap is with it. And we can fire it up and hopefully still have oil pressure. That might be a good thing. Alright, let me go let that piss out for a little bit and we'll top it off. Maybe we'll fire it up. I think I got it cracked loose already. Let's get that filter out of there. I'm going to write the date on it. I don't remember how many hours were on the machine. I'll take a Sharpie and write the date on the filter. So who would have even thought there was such a thing as side-by-side oil? Compared to what? Front and rear oil? Oh, the more DD jokes. I know. Alright, 2 of those got to go in. Well, she's all topped off with oil. Let's go fire it up and see if she blows up. I don't know if we get a dummy light for oil pressure or anything either. Nothing's squirting out anywhere. Getting quieter. It definitely got quieter than it was before. Rev it up. Maybe neutral? Yeah. Yeah, nothing's on. Yeah, and I would think it would have like an oil, something would say oil pressure, right? I see oil, something right there. That might be a check engine. Alright, what do we got to do? We got to get brakes in it. Let's go get the bed flipped up and see if we can get towards that rotor that's back there. Yeah, that air cleaner was boogered up last time. We took it out. I think it was soaked with oil. We were kind of trying to concern with like why. So I think we cleaned it, but the foam end was shot. Yeah, and we cleaned all that crap off of it, but we got a new one because it's torn there too. All right, let's go figure out how to get that caliper out of there. I don't know if I take this big metal bracket off or not. I'm going to try the 2 bolts in the center of it first. Not without a wrench or not. Let's see if that'll give us access. Is that a 14 or a 15? Yeah, of course, that's not going to work. See if these 2 bolts will do it. I don't know if we're going to be able to clear. Depends how far that. No, to say that's not the metal. So the black bracket has to come off. I was hoping these were going to push back far enough. We could just take the caliper out of the center. No. So we gotta get to that one up there, which you can't get a socket on. So that top bolt, you can't get all the way out because it runs into the shroud for the belt. So I'm hoping we can loosen the 2 on the bottom and we can pull it away far enough where these can slide out. We can get the assembly out. Let's go see if this is gonna work for us. Nope. Yeah. Extensions, you lose all the power on an impact. Extensions and swivels. I got a breaker bar on them. Yeah, cracked it loose with a ratchet. Let's see if we can spin it out now. run into that side there. There we go. Not much in the way of clearance. That was the easy one. There's another one that side of it. That's the other one. We should probably, before I get it flopping in the breeze, let's get this one disconnected. I must say their ergonomics sucks. It's not exactly the easiest. Yeah, it's kind of like they took a drivetrain out of something else and just put it in the frame, and wherever the holes and things line up, so be it. Like to do pads, yeah, it seems like it's a you're going through an awful lot. Again, it's not regular brake pads, it's just the parking brake. But it seems to be an issue on them to get done. All right, let me get the other one loosened up and see if we get words. Words are hard. Gives us enough room to do what we need to do. Come to me. We got that whole assembly back. Again, the top, upper bolt, I don't think I can get out. But as long as we can get this. Come on. Alright, let's go take that over on the bench and see what it takes to fix her up. So my guess is I'm supposed to slide on these pins, and I think it just got so rusty that they couldn't back off far enough, so they were constantly rubbing, because it won't even let you go. Like if you have the emergency brake lever on, it keeps correcting me. Parking brake, fine, whatever. Yeah, if you got no brakes, it's the emergency brake. Anyway, it goes into limp mode. It won't even let you go drive it. So it's not like you can leave the lever on and continue on your way. Why does that one look? What does one look? Because one is thicker. All right, so the outer one is thicker. And I would say the inner pad is pretty much dust. And then this is the cam. You pull the cable. I don't know. It seems pretty free. It's not like it's. I wonder if the. Seems pretty free. All right, I'm going to disassemble all that. Yeah, I don't know why the inner pad was worn like that. I'm gonna go tear it apart, clean it up. I think you guys are getting sick of wrenching as much as I am, and I'll move stuff along and see if I find anything funky. I'll show you, but let me get it together. All right, I think I may have found why it is doing what it is doing. So there is 3 balls. Yes, there is. It happens, and a cam that it runs on. As you pull the brake, it pivots up on that cam and puts pressure. But I think what happens is dirt kind of builds up behind it, and just does not allow the emergency brake, parking brake, to back off any more than what it does. So I think that is what our issue is. I'm gonna go clean everything up, grease it, and I don't know if grease is maybe. What do you think? Grease it or not grease it? Because it's gonna attract dirt, right? Yeah, they're pretty cooked. You can even see like the rust and the dirt that got chewed in the pads. So an original, this lever flipped over and was on here. You can see it's like a little bit of recess in that pad, and that one's filled. I'm gonna go take a drill bit and open that up a little so that you want to call it a centering post or what, does protrude a little bit past that. So I think if I didn't do it, we'd adjust the brakes, but then shortly after that kind of galls itself down a little bit, it'll have to get readjusted. So I don't know if we punch a hole through it by accident with the drill bit, it's gonna hurt anything. I'll try not to, but let's see what we do. I know it's gonna walk over the place, but I got a end mill. Let's go see if that'll. don't think we need much. A little more. Want to call that for the win? All right. All right, let's go with something like right? And then we had to get the lever on there. Hole in the hole. Get in your hole. I made you a hole. Get in there. Oh, I gotta go wash my balls. Sorry. That's better. Can't be showing up to the party. Dirty balls. Just saying. And that, like that. We bolt it all together, right? I don't think there's any washers on there. We can clamp these two halves together. The other one's still in the socket. Does that look like it should? I think so. Oh, it's got, yeah. So I don't know what to adjust the maybe these pins. Like, so how does the outer pad float? I guess on these it's just meant to kind of ride back and forth. Still don't know whether I want to throw any kind of grease or anything on it. What's your thoughts? Let's on these barrels, let's go put a little skim coat on those. I think the chances are that the balls are the same size. We have a stash of those, and they shouldn't rust. No, they're smaller. Smaller balls. We'll stick with the big balls. Preference. That's tightened up. We can make it like a drinking game. How many times did he say balls? I'll go with that. I'm gonna leave it dry in the back there. Stop it. We'll grease these up. Put them through just like I did with those. So I ended up putting it together and I had to take it apart again. And this is how much travel we have in it right now between locked and unlocked. So what the problem was, where all those shims were, I ended up taking 3 of the little thin ones out. I wonder if somebody maybe added them to try to get more out of the emergency brake, because it wasn't happening. I couldn't even slide the caliper on there. And I could see if I took, you know, I had the adjustment all the way in too, so I'm barely tugging on it and it's full lock. If I had a couple more of those out of there, this adjustment would probably be more in the middle, but that should be okay. We'll leave it, see how it does. Good. Throw the air cleaner back on. I don't know what else we got to go work on. We'll recap. Let's close up shop. Got to put the skid plate back on it, and the under seat bucket, and the seat. When we rolled down the hill, just made brownie points with my wife. She was all pissed off. How do you get out of this thing? Well, rolling away because it doesn't have a park. You know, it's got the gears forward and reversed, and it's not like it's locked in gears. It's a CVT automatic transmission, so it does on a steep hill kind of roll away. Well, I don't know. We got about 10 or 15 minutes of daylight left, so let's go take her for a little putt. See how she does. Just a 2-wheel drive right now. quieter before. You can hear the front end. I thought it was the hub on the right front was noisy, but it was that drive shaft. Let's go put her in. Lock everything. Makes it hard to steer, but it should be like a tank. The only thing I hear right now is the cage is rattling a little bit. So yeah, some horses go by. Definitely a bumpy ride. Trying not to make you seasick, but no matter if I hand hold the camera or if I mount it to the body, the kick just as bad. We're supposed to get snow tomorrow. Be a good test for it. Oh, good. Seems like it's doing everything like it should. Let's go run it in low, which is not going to give him, you know. That's it, probably 15 mile an hour top speed. Back to open differential, 2-wheel drive. And in high. Rooster tailing it all the way up the hill. Good. Burned out 4-wheeler up here. There it is. Go see how a little bit of a hill. Leave that in neutral. Well, it ain't rolling away this time. Good. We beat the darkness. That's a good thing. We probably got another 4 minutes before the sun's down. Anyhow, seems like everything's doing like it should. Like I said, I thought it was the right front wheel, like a hub or a bearing, or the front brake. It was kind of clacking around a little bit when I was driving it last time, but you know, hence it was the drive shaft falling out of the thing. And you know, I bought it used, and I don't want to say abused, but just not maintained. And you know, sometimes when you run out of money and you have to sell your stuff, it's not like you're going to maintain them and put the money into them to go and sell them. The money's not there to go do it. So works out for me. I still paid thousands of dollars for it. It wasn't like it was $100 or anything. So I think we're in it for probably around $3 grand right now, which is decent for this machine. I would say, what year is it? 2013, I think we looked it up. What's it worth? 6,500 maybe, something like that. All the tires seem like they're holding air. I haven't had to go blow any up over the last month or so. And other than the fact that we don't have cabin doors, which would help because it's going to snow in the next day or two, keep it a little bit more winter friendly. And it has a heater inside there that is, the fan motor is locked up and burned out. It blows the fuse as soon as you go to put a fuse in it. It just goes kapooey. But other than that, seems like it's doing everything it should do. And hopefully now the engine's not going to blow up because we did a little fix to it. Alright guys, I'm gonna go sign off and I'm kind of rambling a little bit. I got a bunch of videos already filmed, some cool stuff, but I don't want to show them until I'm ready to continue on with the projects of them. It's a lot easier buying this stuff than it is getting all the repairs done on them. But I do have a bunch of stuff coming up, and I want to thank you all for hanging out with me and having a little bit of fun and wrenching on stuff. And there's plenty more to come. Alright guys, with that, I'm going to sign off. I'll see you later.